Hello students, how are you all? Today I am going to start equilibrium chapter for JEE, NEET and CET. Now let us discuss state of equilibrium. State of equilibrium. Now let us understand the state of equilibrium by taking an example. I am taking a hypothetical reaction R gives rise to P. So here R is the reactants converting into products. P is the products. I am taking hypothetical reaction R gives rise to P. Here R is the reactants and P is the product. So reactants themselves react each other to form a product. In turn, products themselves react leading to the formation of reactants. So reactants converting into product is a forward reaction. This is a forward reaction. Reactants converting into products is a forward reaction, and products converting into reactants is a backward reaction. Backward reaction. So reactants converting into products is a forward reaction, and products converting into reactants is a backward reaction. Here the equilibrium state indicated by double off arrow. This one, the equilibrium state indicated by double off arrow. Double off arrow. So the equilibrium state is defined as, the state of equilibrium can be defined as a stage at which concentrations of reactants and products do not change with time is known as a state of equilibrium. So the state at which concentrations of reactants and products do not change with time is known as a state of equilibrium. In other words, the rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. A state at which rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction, we can say that there is equilibrium exists between the reactants and products. So rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. So otherwise rate of forward and backward reaction becomes equal. The stage we are calling as a state of equilibrium. So let us take a chemical reaction. I am taking chemical reaction N2 plus H2 gives rise to 2NH3 So we have to balance. This is 3H2, this is 2NH3. Here nitrogen is a gas, hydrogen is a gas, and ammonia is a gas. Here nitrogen react with hydrogen to form ammonia. So this is a forward reaction. And ammonia converting into nitrogen and hydrogen. So this is the backward reaction. So the stage at which concentrations of reactants, nothing but N2 and H2. So these are the reactants and these are the products. So here hypothetical reaction I took reactants converting into product. Here I took a chemical reaction N2 plus H2 gives rise to 2NH3. Here N2 and H2 are the reactants, so here NH3 is the product. So here a stage at which concentrations of reactant, nothing but N2 and H2, and concentrations of product NH3 do not change with time. A stage at which concentrations of N2 and H2 and NH3 do not change with time is known as a state of equilibrium. A stage at which concentrations of reactants and products do not change with time is known as a state of equilibrium. In other words, a stage at which rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction I am labeling as REF. Rate of forward reaction. Rate of backward reaction I am labeling as RBF. B. So rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. A stage at which rate of forward is equal to rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction, we can say that there is a state of, there is equilibrium exists. Nothing but a state of equilibrium. Next, let us take one physical example. Conversion of equilibrium in physical process. I am taking water. So H2O liquid. H2 is in the form of liquid. So water converting into water vapor. H2O vapor. So water converting into water vapor. So here, whenever the energy is supplied to the water at 100 degrees centigrade, water will become vaporized, converting into water vapor. This is the forward reaction. I am labeling as RF, rate of forward reaction, RF. So this is conversion of liquid water into water vapor is a forward reaction. And water vapor converting into water, liquid state. So this is a rate of backward reaction. So rate of forward reaction is nothing but what we can take, conversion of liquid into vapor. Any liquid you can take, not only water, you can take any liquid. General example, you can take liquid. Liquid converting into vapor. Liquid converting into vapor. So here is a liquid converting into vapor. It is a forward reaction. So nothing but it is nothing but evaporation. This is nothing but evaporation. Here also same, liquid, water converting into water vapor, conversion of liquid into vapor is nothing but evaporation. This is nothing but evaporation. So this is a general example. For any liquid you can apply. Either took water. So in turn, water vapor converting into water. Nothing but here is vapor converting into liquid state. This is a backward. So backward in the sense, this is nothing but what we have to call as condensation. This is nothing but water condensation. So here water vapor converting into water, nothing but condensation. Condensation. So the state of equilibrium can identify by taking a rate of evaporation becomes equal to the rate of condensation. So rate of evaporation becomes equal to the rate of condensation. We can say that there is a equilibrium exists between the liquid as well as the vapor state. So liquid and vapor state, there is a equilibrium existed. So what is the statement is the rate of evaporation becomes equal to rate of condensation. In simple words, rate of evaporation and condensation becomes equal. So we can say that there is a equilibrium state, that nothing but a state of equilibrium. So evaporation becomes condensation. So water converting into water vapor, nothing but evaporation. Water vapor converting into liquid state, nothing but condensation. A stage at which rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. This is the rate of evaporation is a forward reaction. Rate of evaporation is a forward reaction, and rate of condensation is a backward reaction. A stage at which rate of forward reaction becomes is equal to rate of backward reaction. So we can say that there is a state of equilibrium. Equilibrium exists between the forward as well as the backward directions. So this is a state of equilibrium. Next, the equilibrium state can be indicated by using a double half arrow. Equilibrium state can be indicated by using a double half arrow. And another important point is the mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium state is known as equilibrium mixture. Equilibrium mixture. So what is the equilibrium mixture? So the mixture of reactants and products. The mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium state is known as equilibrium mixture. I am writing the statement here. The mixture of reactants and products. The mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium state. The mixture of reactants and products at equilibrium state is known as equilibrium mixture. Is known as equilibrium mixture. And another important point is the equilibrium is dynamic in nature. Dynamic equilibrium. So dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium nothing but rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction becomes equal. So here suppose I am taking N2 plus H2 gives rise to NH3. So N2 and H2 converting into NH3, instantaneously the ammonia molecules converting into N2 and H2. So rate of forward reaction, that means N2 and H2 converting into NH3, in turn immediately the ammonia molecule converting into N2 and H2. So rate of forward reaction and becomes rate of backward reaction, nothing but we have to call it as equilibrium is in dynamic in state. So continuously reactants are converting into products and immediately products are converting into reactants. So the process is continuously will be taking place. So reactant converting into product converting into reactant. Suppose so 1 mole of reactant converting into product, the same 1 mole of product converting into reactant instantaneously. So the concentration of reactants products do not change with the time, remains same. So that because reactants converting into products converting into reactants converting into product and product converting into reactant, continuously taking place like this. So that the equilibrium is in dynamic in state. So dynamic equilibrium nothing but rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. So this is the introduction relating to the state of equilibrium. What is the state of equilibrium? A state at which concentrations of reactants and products do not change with time. In other words, rate of forward reaction becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. So, and another important point is the equilibrium mixture. The mixture of products and reactants at equilibrium is known as equilibrium mixture. And equilibrium is dynamic in nature. That means rate of forward becomes equal to the rate of backward reaction. And the equilibrium indicated by the equilibrium position can be indicated by the double half arrow. So this is the forward direction and this is the backward direction. So equilibrium can be indicated by double half arrow. This is one half arrow. This is one half arrow and this is another half arrow. The equilibrium can be indicated by double half arrow. So this is introduction relating to the state of equilibrium. Next, equilibrium can be established in both physical and chemical process. Equilibrium can be established in physical process and chemical process. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. Among them, the first one is equilibrium in physical process. In that first one, solid liquid equilibrium. Solid liquid equilibrium. Now let us understand solid liquid equilibrium by taking an example. I am taking a conversion of ice into water. So H2O in the form of solid. H2O solid. H2O solid is nothing but what we have to take, it is ice. Then ice is converting into water. H2O in the form of liquid. So H2O form of liquid. H2O in the form of liquid is nothing but what we have to take, water. So H2O solid converting into H2O liquid. That means ice converting into water. In turn, water converting into ice. When the temperatures are increases, the ice converting into water. Temperatures are decreases, water converting into ice. So conversion of ice into water, nothing but what we have to take, melting. This is melting. And conversion of water into ice, it is nothing but what? Freezing. This is nothing but freezing. Nothing but crystallization. Crystallization. So conversion of ice into water is melting and conversion of water into ice is freezing or crystallization. If you look at this, the solid and the liquid and the ice and the water exist in equilibrium. They exist in equilibrium. This is an example of a physical equilibrium. It is an example of physical equilibrium, that solid liquid equilibrium. And the second one, solid liquid. Second one is liquid vapor. Liquid vapor equilibrium. Liquid vapor equilibrium. So for liquid vapor equilibrium, take an example, conversion of water into water vapor. Next step. So conversion of ice into water is one step. I'm taking. Imagine water converting into water vapor. So H2O in the form of liquid. H2O in the form of liquid. Converting into H2O in the form of gas. Nothing but vapor. H in the form of vapor. So water converting into water vapor. Water is liquid and this is water vapor. Water vapor. So conversion of water into water vapor. It is a forward direction. It is a forward direction. Conversion of a water vapor into water. That means when the temperatures are decreases, water converting into water vapor converting into water. This is the backward direction. So conversion of a water into water vapor is nothing but evaporation. Evaporation. Conversion of water vapor into water, nothing but what? Condensation. This is nothing but what? Condensation. So conversion of water into water vapor, this is nothing but what? Rate of forward direction. Rate of forward. And conversion of water vapor into water, nothing but the rate of backward reaction. Now the point is a stage at which rate of forward becomes equal to the rate of backward. Here rate of forward is nothing but rate of evaporation. Rate of evaporation becomes equal to the rate of condensation. Then equilibrium established between the water and water vapor. So rate of evaporation becomes equal to the rate of condensation. Then the equilibrium established between the water and water vapor. So rate of evaporation. Rate of evaporation is equal to the rate of condensation. Rate of evaporation is equal to the rate of condensation. So we can say that rate of there is a equilibrium established between the water and water vapor. So this is an example of equilibrium in a physical process. So equilibrium in physical process in sense there is no change in the composition of a substance. So composition of the substance is not changed. Let us take an example. I am taking N2 plus H2. N2 plus 3H2 gives rise to 2NH3. So this is an example of chemical equilibrium, example for chemical equilibrium chemical process. Here is N2 and H2 and the final product we have is ammonia. So this is the initial stage, this is the final stage, initial and final. So here is what is the product we got, the product composition different from the reactants composition. Product of composition of the product is different from composition of reactant. Reactant is nitrogen and hydrogen, but product is ammonia. Composition is changed. The composition changed, we have to call them as equilibrium in chemical process. But here is composition remains same. Look at the reactant IC is H2O and product IC product water H2O. So H2O and H2O initial and final. In the product reactant and product both the composition remains the same. Composition do not changes. So you look at this water and water vapor. Water molecule composition is H2O. Even in water vapor the molecules is H2O. Both the cases initial and final. So before equilibrium, after equilibrium, the composition is before equilibrium since only water is there. So the composition is H2O. After formation of water vapor, there is a H2O. So composition remains the same. Composition is do not changes. The composition is do not changes. We have to call them as equilibrium in physical process. Composition is changes, then equilibrium in chemical process. We'll discuss it later. This is second one is liquid vapor equilibrium. Third case solid vapor equilibrium. Solid vapor equilibrium. So let us understand the solid vapor equilibrium by taking an example. I am taking I2 solid. I2 solid. Iodine in the form of solid. So when the iodine is heated without touching the liquid state, iodine directly converting into vapor state. So we will get I2 in the form of vapor, not liquid. So in turn, if the vapors are cooled, the I2 converting into solid form. So this is an example of solid vapor equilibrium. So this is nothing but sublimation. So conversion of solid into vapor is sublimation. Sublimation. Sublimation is nothing but the conversion of a solid directly into gaseous state. The conversion of a solid directly into gaseous state without touching the liquid state, we have to call them as sublimation. What I am meaning is I am taking a solid substance, solid initially actually solid converting into liquid state, and liquid converting into gaseous state. The solid converting into liquid state, liquid converting into gaseous state. But in the sublimation process, without the liquid state, the solid directly converting into gaseous state. The solid directly converting into gaseous state, we have to call them as sublimation. So in sublimation, the solid and the gas, nothing but vapor. Solid and vapor exist in equilibrium. So this is an example of solid vapor equilibrium. Example, I2 solid converting into I2 vapor. So let us take one more example. I'm taking camphor. So camphor is a solid. Then when the camphor is heated, converting into camphor vapor. Camphor's vapors will get nothing but gaseous state. Camphor vapors converting into solid camphor. So this is an example of solid vapor equilibrium. Let's take one more example, NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. So ammonium chloride, whenever heated, ammonium chloride is a solid. The solid converting into ammonium chloride vapor state, NH4Cl vapor state. So this ammonium chloride vapors upon cooling converting into gases, solid state. So between the solid and vapor there is a existence of equilibrium. So this is example A, this is example B, and this is example C for solid vapor equilibrium. So solids and vapors are existing equilibrium. Example 1 is iodine solid converting into iodine vapors. Next example 2, camphor converting into camphor vapors, and camphor solid and vapors exist in equilibrium. And ammonium chloride converting into ammonium chloride solid converting into ammonium chloride vapors. So ammonium chloride solid and vapors existing in equilibrium. So these are the examples of solid vapor equilibrium. Now let us look at the phase transformations. Phase transformation. First I'm taking a solid, solid converting into liquid, liquid converting into gas. Solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So solid to liquid, liquid, gas. Solid converting into liquid state. Solid converting into liquid state, what we learn? Melting. This is nothing but melting. Melting. Liquid converting into solid. This is nothing but what we have to get. Solid converting into liquid converting into solid, nothing but what? Freezing or crystallization. Freezing, isn't it? This is a backward direction. One is forward, another one is backward. One is forward, another one is backward. And the second case, liquid converting into gaseous state. Liquid to gas, second case. That means water to water vapor. What we took? Evaporation. So the first one, this one. This is nothing but evaporation. Evaporation. Then gas converting into liquid. Gas converting into liquid, this one. This is nothing but what we wrote? Condensation. This is condensation. Next, solid converting into gas. Nothing but what? Sublimation. This is nothing but what? Sublimation. Then gas converting into solid. This is we have to call as deposition. This is a deposition. So gas converting into solid is deposition, solid converting into gas is a sublimation. So this is the phase transformation. Phase transformation, solid, liquid, gas. Next, equilibrium involving dissolution of solid or gas in liquid. In that first one, solid in liquid. Solid in a liquid. Equilibrium involving dissolution of solid in liquid. Now let us understand equilibrium involving dissolution of solid in liquid by taking an example. I am taking a sugar solution. So I am taking a beaker. This beaker is filled with water. Right? To this water I am adding sugar. I am adding sugar. So whenever the small quantity of sugar is added, the sugar will be dissolved in the water. We know very well. So when excess quantity is added, excess quantity of sugar is added, the solution will become saturated. So we have to make saturated solution. saturated solution. So in the saturated state, whenever the solute is added, that solute cannot be dissolved. So that solute will be settled at the bottom of the container. In saturated state, no more solute can be dissolved in the solvent. In saturated state, no more solute can be dissolved in the solvent, that will be settled at the bottom of the container. This is a undissolved sugar. Sugar undissolved, and some sugar molecules are dissolved in the water. So these are the molecules dissolved in the water. So whenever the sugar is added, excess quantity, if we make the saturated solution, some sugar will be dissolved in the water. That excess what we added, that not dissolved in the water, that will be settled at the bottom of the container. This is undissolved sugar. Undissolved sugar. So I am taking a sugar in solid state, undissolved, this one solid, and exist equilibrium with sugar in solution. So sugar molecule present in the solution, and solid sugar molecules. So between the undissolved sugar and dissolved sugar molecules in the solution, there is existence of equilibrium. There is existence of equilibrium between the solid and solid molecules and the solid molecule present in the solution. So this is a solid in a liquid equilibrium. So here is the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of dissolution. The rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization. Rate of dissolution. Rate of dissolution of sugar. The rate of dissolution of sugar is equal to the rate of crystallization. Rate of crystallization of sugar. So rate of dissolution. So sugar molecules are entering into the solution, and what is the sugar molecule present in the solution? Entering into the form of a solid. So rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of crystallization of sugar. Nothing but this is a solid in liquid. And the second one is a gas in liquid. The second one is a gas in a liquid. So for this case, let us take one example. I am taking water. In this water, I am dissolving carbon dioxide in a closed container. I am dissolving carbon dioxide. So I am dissolving carbon dioxide in a water. So carbon dioxide molecules present in the water. So carbon dioxide molecules are dissolved in the water, and upon its surface, carbon dioxide molecules are in the form of a gas. Carbon dioxide molecules in the form of a gas. So there is existence of equilibrium between the dissolved CO2 molecules and undissolved CO2 molecules. So the CO2 molecules present in the gaseous state and the CO2 molecule present in the solution, there is existence of a equilibrium. So this is a gas in liquid equilibrium. I am taking CO2 molecule, CO2 in a gaseous state. Is in equilibrium with molecules of CO2 in a gaseous state, equilibrium with molecules of CO2 in a solution. So this is an example of gas in liquid equilibrium. Next, Henry's law. Now let us understand Henry's law by taking an example. I am taking a beaker. Imagine it is a container or a vessel. Understanding purpose, I am taking filled with liquid water. I filled with water. So upon its surface, there is a gas molecules. Any gas you can take. So carbon dioxide, oxygen, gas molecules present upon its surface. This is the gas on the surface of liquid. This is the liquid. Upon its surface, there is a gas. So I kept a weightless, a frictionless piston. I kept. Right. So what I am doing is I am increasing the pressure upon the piston. So upon this piston, I am increasing the pressure. So whenever the pressure is increases, so I am increasing the pressure upon the piston. Whenever the pressure upon the piston increases, the piston will move down. Piston will move down. Suppose this is a new position of the piston. So I am applying the pressure by placing some weight. So this is some weight upon the piston I placed. So when the weight is placed upon the piston will move down. As a result, the gas is going to get compressed. When the gas is compressed, the gas molecules will be enter into the liquid state. So understanding purpose, here is in the liquid there is no gas molecules. Understanding purpose, there is no molecules of gas in the liquid. So whenever the weight is increased upon the piston, that means piston is compressed, piston is pushed down by keeping weights, the gas molecules will be enter into the liquid. Then that means the gas is dissolved in the liquid. Gas is dissolved in the liquid. The mass of gas dissolved according to Henry's law. According to Henry's law, the mass of gas dissolved, I am writing statement, the mass of gas dissolved, mass of gas dissolved in a given mass of solvent at any temperature is proportional to pressure of the gas, above the solvent. So this is the statement of Henry's law. So what is this statement meaning is, suppose I took a beaker, in that beaker I took water, upon the water there is a gas, I kept a weightless and frictionless piston. So initial pressure is very less. So I am increasing the pressure of the gas by placing the weights upon it. So I am increasing the pressure of the gas and placing the weights upon it. So whenever the weights upon the piston increases, the pressure is going to get what? Increases. Pressure is going to get increases. Whenever the pressure increases, the gas molecules will be dissolved in the water. Here, the mass of gas dissolved in a given mass of solvent is directly at any temperature is proportional to the pressure of the gas above the solvent. This statement meaning is, mass of the gas dissolved in a given mass of solvent directly proportional to the pressure of the gas above the solvent, directly proportional to P. This is the statement meaning. So M is equal to, I am labeling as KH into P. So this is the statement equation. So here is the mass of the gas dissolved. M is equal to mass of gas dissolved, and P is equal to pressure of the gas. P is equal to pressure of the gas above the solvent. Pressure of the gas above the solvent. KH is equal to Henry's law, Henry's constant. KH is equal to Henry's constant. So this is Henry's law. Next, general characteristics of equilibrium involving physical process. General characteristics of equilibria. General characteristics of equilibria involving physical process. In that first one, equilibrium possible only in a closed vessel. Equilibrium possible only in closed vessel. Closed vessel at a given temperature. So what is the meaning of this statement is, equilibrium possible only in a closed vessel at a given temperature. So meaning of this statement is, I am taking water, converting into water vapor. So between the water and water vapor there is a equilibrium established. Between the water and water vapor there is a equilibrium is there. So here if the vessel is closed, then only this equilibrium is possible. Between the water and water vapor, equilibrium is possible whenever the vessel is closed, because here is water vapor is a gas state, water is a liquid state, isn't it? If the vessel is opened, what is the water converting into water vapor? The water vapor is a gas. This gas can escape from the container. So reverse backward direction is not possible. Reaction backward direction is not, only forward water converted into water vapor. What is the water vapor? We got the escape from the container. So that backward direction is not possible. So backward direction is not there in sense there is no existence of equilibrium. So whenever the vessel is closed like this, then only the backward direction is possible, then equilibrium is established. So what is the point here is the equilibrium is possible only in a closed vessel at a given temperature. The vessel is opened, then what is the gaseous substance is there? All the gaseous substance will be evaporate and converting to escape from the container, and the equilibrium is not possible between them. And the next one is all measurable properties of the system remains constant. This is the second one. All measurable properties of the system, remains constant. So this point meaning is so measurable properties like pressure, temperature, concentration, etc. So these are must be constant. Pressure, temperature, concentration, etc. All these measurable property of the system remains constant. This is the point number 2. And the point number 3 is both opposing processes occur at the same rate. Third one, both opposing process occur at the same rate, occurs at the same rate, and there is a dynamic but stable condition. There is a dynamic and a stable condition. There is a dynamic and a stable condition. This statement meaning is so we know that forward reaction as well as backward reaction, taking reactants converting into products, in turn products converting into reactant. So this is the rate of forward reaction. Reactant converting into product is rate of forward reaction. Products converting reactant is a rate of backward reaction, rate of forward and rate of backward reaction. So both opposing processes occur at the same rate. So that means rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. This is the meaning of third statement. That means there is a dynamic equilibrium. So rate of forward equal to rate of backward, there is a dynamic equilibrium. So these are the some general characteristics of equilibrium involving a physical process.